Titans and their number one pick, who has not been talked about for a very long time, Cam Ward, where a year ago in 2024, Brian Callahan leaves the Cincinnati Bengals. He goes down to Tennessee, becomes the head coach, the heir to the Vrabel era of Titans football. And it was just not a good era whatsoever. 3 wins, 3-14. The man on the screen right there is going to be the heir to the quarterback throne, maybe the heir to Titans football, where that is going to be something to figure out as we move forward. But the least talked about number one overall pick in Cam Ward looks to turn the tide and the page for the Tennessee Titans and second-year head coach Brian Callahan. As we shift into the offense here, boom. Oh, look at that. It's like a fireball. A lot of changes on this team. Listen, the quarterbacks were beaten up last year. Will Levis was, just ransacked. Everything was just not going right for the Titans. But Cameron Ward, my bad, number one pick, looks to turn the tide. They revamped the offensive line for the second consecutive year. Kevin Zeitler comes in from Detroit. They give Dan Moore Jr. a big money contract from the Steelers. 4 years, $88 million, $22 million per year. They revamped the receiving core once more, bringing in Tyler Lockett, who was released from Seattle after a very long tenure there. Van Jefferson after a brief stint with the Steelers. Calvin Ridley really is the one piece that's staying the same, and Jaquan Jackson, Bryce Oliver, but they do bring in 2 receivers in the 4th round this year. Chamir Dyke, if I said that correctly, and then Alec Aomanor. I'm just going to go with that. Tajay Spears had a sprained ankle in the first preseason game, so obviously there's not a whole lot of stuff going on with him as he's trying to get healthy and back for week number 1 for the Titans. And Dom, I want to bring this back over to us. What's your standouts here? I mean, expectations for Cam Ward entering the first year. Least talked about, man. Eric Fisher had more hype in 2013. Anyone that wasn't a quarterback that's been drafted, so much more talk. Walker from the Jaguars, who we'll talk about in a couple minutes, just, yeah.
I don't know, man. Apparently he's looked pretty decent, right? He has a preseason game under his belt now, right?
Yeah, played the Titans. I think 5 of 8 passing, so it was it was a okay showing.
Yeah, he didn't look bad. So okay. We'll get more as the sample size probably increases next preseason game, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't think it's like some of the quarterbacks we've seen drafted recently in some of the recent years high. Like it's not. I don't know. I really, after looking at this and like seeing all these dudes drafted right in this roster right here, right, I went and looked up the average age of every NFL team, and this is like the 7th oldest team. So that's kind of crazy to think about. Even after all this youth and these draft picks, this is still the 7th oldest team in the league. So
Tyler Lockett's up there in age. Dan Moore, I think, is 28. Kevin Zeitler's 35. Van Jefferson, late 20s.
I don't know. It's tough because we've now covered more than half of the league, right?
Yes.
And a lot of that was like, hey, new situation on this team. It's kind of set up. They did a good job setting this up for a foundation to find out this for like a building year this year. And it'll seem like it's in a good place and get better for next year and find out more things. And I don't really know how to feel about this team, if I'm going to be honest with you. They went 3-14, like you said.
Last year, I did say the expectation of, I don't know what the team could do last year going into 2024. It could be anything. It could be from a number 1 pick to a playoff team, maybe winning the division. Obviously, we struck gold on the 1 pick because, we laid every single scenario on the line. But I think Cam Ward's going into a good situation. Brian Callahan has been comparing him to Joe Burrow, especially in like the youthful years of Burrow. So ACL early on, he compared him to that. So he sees comparisons. Obviously, of experienced receiving core. Tyler Lockett obviously has caught balls from Russell Wilson, Geno Smith, so he's been around there. He's been around, guys like DK Metcalf, Doug Baldwin, Jimmy Graham for a little bit up there in Seattle. Then you have, a lot of youth on the offensive line that took J.C. Latham in the top 10 last year. Dan Moore, who honestly, he had an okay year last year, so paying them a lot of money is a little concerning for me. But Zeitler, he's still a proven starter. Devin, Lloyd Cushenberry, still a proven starter. I mean, they're kind of, I don't really know which way they're following, but, Tony Pollard, another year removed from that leg injury. So I think he's gaining the confidence back. Tajay Spears was expected to take a big leap this year. And also Chigakwonkwo, I think he's going to be a nice deep threat there for fantasy football users moving forward. So there is some valuable pieces to look forward there. I think there might be some growing pains, but I think they might be in good hands with Callahan now.
Is Will Levis not on this team anymore?
He's on IR, so he's already out for the entire. He had that shoulder injury, against Miami last year, and yeah,
that's
so
wild.
obviously they don't have him on there. It doesn't take up a roster spot. They did cut Tim Boyle after his preseason performance, so, but Trevor Siemian takes over a QB3 role.
I don't know, man. It's tough because I don't think Tony Pollard did spectacular last year. So it's like I don't feel like their running game is like great. They can't really. I don't think it's something they just fall back on. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a sub.
There's going to be growing pains with this team.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be a sub 6 win year still. I feel like it's. I feel like
Cam Ward's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder, 100%.
Yeah.
Because no one talks about him. It's always Travis Hunter, he went behind him. Jackson Dart, look at Jackson Dart. Like he's still not even talked about. Like I don't even know if a lot of these people are going to be in. I got Zulu in the chat here. He says Nashville, you are on the clock. Titans in 2025. A lot of crying emojis.
Yeah, I mean,
we got some comments too on YouTube.
What do we got?
We got Cam here. Buns. Cam Ward ain't anything special. He quit. The Pop-Tart's actually on my thing right there. I still haven't put it away from Steve's, but we'll be joining. Oh, no, it's Jake. Why did I say Cam? That's my bad.
Well, I mean, both Philly fans. So
both Philly fans. A lot of Philly. Go Birds. Shall we move over to the defensive side of the football?
Yeah, real fast. Nick Foles, the offensive coordinator of this team. I don't know his resume at all. Does he have much of a resume?
Which person? I'm sorry. I just read a TikTok comment and it just really threw me off here. I'm not even going to read it out loud.
I mean, I tell you what. So the offensive coordinator for this team, Nick Foles, it doesn't have a very exciting resume. Actually, dare I say, doesn't really have that good of a resume. I don't know. This is tough, man.
It's a growing pain. It's a growing pains on offense.
I have a hard time having a lot of hope for this team and this offense and saying that they will be improved and know their future after this year. So that's a tough season. Tough season. But yeah, let's get to the defense.
Let's go to the defensive side here where, a lot of stuff went down last year. Defense didn't really look all that good. So Xavier Woods, the former Cowboy safety, Carolina Panther safety, he comes in. L'Jarius Sneed, he was traded like 2 years ago, so that's not really a whole lot of stuff to talk about. But Draymond Jones from the Seahawks, Cody Barton, Jihad Ward from the Vikings. If you remember the infamous Hard Knocks clip of him telling him, Aaron Rodgers, I don't even know who you are, bro. I don't know who you are, bro. Funny. Timmy Horn from the Giants, Carlos Watkins. But I think you got to highlight the defensive front there with Sebastian Joseph Day, Tavion Sweat, Devondre Sweat, my bad, Jeffrey Simmons, and Arden Key. Another year with the same rotation there, I think it could be pretty good for the Titans, at least having consistency there for the defensive front. But Jarvis Brownlee Jr., he was making some sound waves at corner last year. Roger McCreary, I think he's going to have a really good year this year, contract year, so expect him to make a lot of noise. And they also re-signed Quandre Diggs right before training camp, or really early in the training camp. But yeah, Obviously, this defense, I think, might be in the middle of the road, maybe a little bit less the middle of the road. But I think this defensive front, if there could be anything that goes on, the defensive front's going to be causing a lot of disruptions for whoever they're going to be facing. But veteran guy like Jeffrey Simmons, who's been at all the bad, the ugly, all the way to the AFC Championship game, to the lows of Vrabel and last year, he's been on both sides of that spectrum there. So,
Well,
yeah,
I mean, I tell you what, the Titans allowed the second to least average yards per game last year. So, like, there's that. They did allow quite a bit of touchdowns, actually some of the most touchdowns in the league. So, despite the yards not being much, they allowed a lot of touchdowns. I don't know. Yeah, I can't imagine.
it's a growing pains team.
I really don't know how this team will be any better than last year.
And they also rotated out their GM. They brought in a new GM, so it's the GM that was before them fired him. He wanted his own guy. The GM then gets fired, so it's like I don't know. At one point, it was exciting to watch Titans football, and now it's kind of like, what's going to be going on here?
At one point, you're not wrong. I don't even. All right, I mean, like, this defensive coordinator is much better. He's actually been a coach on actually some great defensive teams. So, okay, like, I don't know.
Let's go to the schedule.
Yeah, dude, this is
we can figure out a little bit more there. But the late window is the debut of Cam Ward as they go into Denver. They have 4 late window games. No Thursday Night Football this year, I do not believe. I skimmed it pretty quickly. So, yeah. I don't know. It's tough, man. I can at a high 6, and I think it's a generous 6. 3-14 and 20-24. So it's a lot of growing pains there for the Titans.
I mean, I've like 4 wins going into the bye, 4 or 5 wins going into the bye max. And then after the bye, I can really only squeeze out like yeah. I mean, like 6 or 7 wins is like hopeful as hell.
Yeah.
So tough season, man. I don't really know. And the question is, what makes this team successful after this year? I don't really know. I guess
I think this is their last year in their stadium. So why don't you just have the stadium go out with a bang and, just build something new for the new stadium? The stadium's not even that old. It's like 25 years old, and it's somehow falling apart more than like half of these other stadiums.
I guess you just kind of play this year out, man. Get some experience under the belt of Cam Ward. I guess that's got to be your future quarterback, right? So get some experience under Cam Ward. Hope
it's tough
that he can win a tough game or two, and you go into the next off season. I guess if this is your last season in the stadium, I guess you try to kind of
go out with a bang.
It might be a good rebranding, retooling time for the team top to bottom into next season. Like, that might be cool.
Yeah, I got nothing else. Just go out with a bang. Send Nissan Stadium. Well, Nissan Senior out with a bang so Nissan Junior can start winning.
Yeah. It's the best you got.